Hey kids, it's Mr. Fly here, hope you're well, and welcome to the ABR Festival 2025, where today I'm doing a bike review, and it's very special because I'm the first person in the country to have ridden this brand new bike that's being launched here at ABR this year. This is the Voge DS800X, a sort of Dakar-esque trailer machine. It looks fantastic, it's great value for money, and it's laden with features. So I'm going to take you for a little bit of a road ride. I'm going to be following my mate Luke over there, and we'll see how she goes. So yeah, this bike launched at the show, so I'm very lucky to be the first person that's actually ridden this. Hello sir. Now this year at ABR they've got a sort of a one-way system going on, so might be a bit of fun getting out of here. Luke ahead of me here, he's on exactly the same bike as well, the DS800X, in this fetching black and gold. It's called the Black Knight, which sounds pretty cool, doesn't it? First impressions, just jumping on the bike, is actually how comfy it is. Lovely padded seat on here, and quite a nice riding position, nice wide bars. I was slightly concerned about the bike because it's got quite a high seating position. I think something like 840mm. We'll go through the specs later, but actually it feels not, you know, ponderous at all. You feel quite high up, but I can get my feet on the deck, so it's quite narrow, the bike. Anyway, more about what it's like to ride when we get to the road. In the meantime, let's have a little look around the bike. You're looking lovely, Luke. Anyway, so let me show you around this brand new bike. Myself and Luke here are the first people to ride it. Now, let me just introduce Luke. He may be a familiar face to you. I knew you, I think, back when you were in KTM, wasn't it? You're the top man there. You got far from there, didn't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Then I knew you from Bennett's. Got far from there.
Absolutely.
So there's a pattern here.
I'm a journeyman.
That's right. So now you're flogging Chinese bikes.
I didn't get fired, by the way.
Okay, right, good. Anyway, he's a good egg, and thank you very much for letting me be the first person to ride.
You are the first. Outside of MotoGP, you are the first. Excellent. In fact, technically before me as well.
Yeah, I started the bike before you started yours, didn't I? Anyway, let's take a look at these machines. There's some of the things that we like the look of. I mean, this is our first look at these as well. First off for me, Luke, colour scheme. Is the black and gold the only one it comes in?
No, there's two to choose from.
Yep.
These are the very first bikes that we've got in the country. So Black Knight is here. There'll be a silver version that punches out a little bit more.
Right, but why would you want anything other than black and gold? I think it looks good.
It's one of those things that doesn't photograph as well, but when you see it in the flesh,
yeah, it's nice looking.
It looks amazing. So,
and I see on this, as the standard bike, you get these crash bars.
Yep, crash bars.
Lights.
Auxiliary lights. Yeah, it's LED lighting throughout, but yeah, you've got the auxiliary lights that you can switch on and off from the switch gear.
Yep.
Bash plate. Yeah, engine bars we talked about. You can take the rubbers off the foot pegs.
Oh yeah. I quite like this finish on the engine case there as well.
Yeah, with a bit of a protection cover as well. So when you are riding standing forward, you're going to get, it's just going to stop rubbing the finish off those.
Yeah. I wonder how this exhaust is going to stand up. It looks quite nice, isn't it? It's a neat looking thing.
It is a neat looking thing, and I don't know. You can say how well you think the bike sounds when we're riding on the road when you're
It sounds great, doesn't it? The only thing I'm not so sure about is this strange sort of finish here. Sort of, is that like a flake carbon or something?
Yeah, it's to give it some texture, I guess, so that for an off-road bike as well, and you start to scratch it up a little bit, it's not actually going to look as worn.
I see.
And I'm sure some people have put thicker decals on it, but as a finish, if you imagine black gloss, that's not going to work.
No,
that's going to soon show
now you
up.
put it like that, it does make sense. I found the seat particularly comfortable as well, actually.
Heated as well for those cold and water rides. Yeah, it is quite plush, isn't it?
It is. I found it very comfy, and for a tall bike, as a short person myself. How tall are you? You look about similar height to me.
5'7" on a tall day.
Blimey, you're even shorter than me. Poor man.
I know.
But it doesn't feel ponderous, does it?
No. I think maybe you'll see it on the camera when we stopped at those traffic lights. I was, 1 foot was comfortable.
Yeah.
I don't like to stop anyway, but 1 foot's comfortable, but it doesn't feel heavy in any way.
No. Given it's got that big fuel tank, it's not ponderous.
Yeah, 24 litres.
It's amazing, actually.
Yeah, it's a one-piece roto-moulded tank.
Fantastic. So anyway, thumbs up for the looks from me.
Well, that's always subjective, but good. I'm glad you like it.
Okay, welcome back to the ABR Festival, folks. This is the Thursday, the sort of extra day that they put on, and people are still arriving at the festival. These campsites later will be absolutely rammed. So lucky this year, and most years here at ABR so far that I've been for the last 5 years, the weather's always been good. They seem to just time it right to get the best of the weather. Anyway, that's by the by. Back to the bike. So what we're looking at here Actually, what you're looking at is a very nice TFT in this portrait orientation. You don't get many bikes that do that, but I think it works with these sort of Dakar-esque machines. Nice and clear, and it's got one of those sort of matte finishes to it, so it's not all reflective in the sun. So you know, easy to read like that. Now the last Voge I rode, I think, was the 900, and one of my criticisms was that the switchgear was a little bit cheapo feeling. Well, they seem to have fixed that on here. This switchgear looks pretty good to me. I would say the indicator button feels a little bit spongy, but it's got, you know when you're using it. But other than that, I like the switchgear. It's very straightforward. Now, I have no idea where we're going. Luke has some sort of a route in his mind. We'll see how it works out. Parallel twin on here. Sounds lovely. Plenty of grunt. Hello, lads. So in keeping with other Voges, this is, I'm not going to say it too much, but it's a great value for a buddy like this. It comes in at £7 grand, and for that you get not only obviously the bike with all the features I've talked about so far, but you also get heated seat, heated grips as standard. You get additional spotlights on the front, engine bars, big dash plate on the bottom. It's got a built-in dash cam in it. It's even got this sort of curious manual, sort of old school steering damper where you can dial in hard or soft on the steering, so if you're going off road and things get a bit squirrely, you can make life a bit easier for yourself. It's also got connectivity for your phone. I mean, basically it is laden with features, this. It's great to see that manufacturers are now bringing out bikes in normal real world price ranges that have those premium features. I do like this TFT, very nice. Sounds great, this. Loving it. So Voge, of course, are owned, they are a Chinese company, they're owned by Lonsin, which is one of the bigger Chinese manufacturers. They do know how to make parallel twins, because of course they make the parallel twins for some of the smaller BMWs. So, you know, there are Chinese manufacturers and there are Chinese manufacturers, aren't there? But these guys do know how to make a bike. And just like in the car world, they're coming on leaps and bounds. I've always been impressed with Voges I've ridden before. And this one carries on that tradition, I think. Already it feels nicer than the 900. It feels quite peppy, actually. Brakes are good. Suspension feels quite nice with it. This is quite a bumpy road, but it's set quite soft. This kind of riding those bumps a real treat. Now this bike, of course, is designed as a off-roady type bike, and sadly I won't be riding it off-road today, and that's not because Voge didn't want me to, but I don't know if I've mentioned before on my reviews, but I've got a dodgy shoulder, so off-roading is out of the question for me at the moment, which is a shame. So purely a road ride, and I have to say, as a road bike, feels nice. Suspension's nice and soft, as I say. It's got plenty of go, it sounds nice, looks good in the black and gold, and laden with features. So at the moment, not a lot about it I don't like. Alright, well, I'd rack my brains to try and find something negative to say. Let's just go through the specs. Alright, spec time then. We'll whiz through the numbers. Normally I have to memorise these sort of things, but as I've got the expert with me, Luke, you can do the talking. So first off, what are we talking with the engine on here?
So it's a 798cc parallel twin engine, developed by Voge. Parallel twins, very, very popular. Voge have built, they built 1 million engines last year and 2 million bikes. Some people know they build engines for other manufacturers, so well proven in putting together moving parts.
How many bikes did you say they built last year?
2 million bikes, 1 million engines, so that's
good grief. So
crazy.
They probably know what they're doing by now.
They probably know what they're doing. So you've got...
All right, moving on then, brakes.
Okay.
What are we looking at?
4-piston radial calipers by Nissan with disengageable ABS, Bosch powered, so loads of stopping power. To have 4-piston radial, twin ones on a off-road bike. So loads of power there and braided lines.
And what size wheels are these?
21-inch front, 18-inch rear.
Thank you. And brakes on the back, single pot in as well?
Single piston, yeah.
Yep, okay, what haven't we covered? Seat height?
Seat height is 850 millimeters, but it's a real narrow standover width as well, which really helps. Parallel Twins keeps it a nice compact design. So, like we said earlier, you can get your feet to the floor. I'm 5'7", 1 foot was comfortable.
It's fine, isn't it? And what about fuel capacity? There's a massive tank on there, isn't it?
24-litre rotor-malted one-piece tank. So yeah, no switching between tanks, and it's, as far as the adventure can go, I think you're going to need to stop for a drink or a wee-wee before.
Well, too right. And what about electronics on this bike? Because this TFT is very impressive to look at, isn't it, if we turn it on?
Yeah, so you've got the vertically mounted TFT, all very pretty. You've got a couple of different ride modes there, which are easy to toggle through on the right bar. You've got switchable ABS, switchable traction control. So things like when we're on the Bridgestone AX41s on the road, the traction control's chiming in really early, but it's a real nice system, unobtrusive. You've got tyre pressure monitoring system as standard as well. So again, work through the menu functions. It's customizable. You can have displayed what you want. The gear changes are really nice and bright to see.
Sort of connectivity as well. You can connect your phone.
Yes, it's a really nice app as well.
So laden with features. So as we come on to the next most important thing, and that is the price of this bike.
Yeah, price $6,999. So it's very keenly priced, and with something that comes with all the specifications straight from the dealership. You centre stand, belly pan. Even the mirrors flick up, hand guide. So it's
laden with features, isn't it?
It's laden with features, and this is where Voge need to be. Obviously it's not a brand that everyone knows, but they need to come out a bike with great performance and great features and really keenly priced. All
right, it's getting over the top now. Let's get back on the bike. Just before we do get back on the bikes, I spoke over Luke, as I often do, as we talked about the engine. What's the horsepower figures and torque on this thing?
93.8 horsepower and 81 newton meters of torque. So
almost like you just read that off a bit of paper.
I knew that, but you went straight onto the brakes. You were like, onto the brakes.
Okay. Back to the bike. Okay, welcome back. And I've been racking my brains to try and think of something negative to say about the bike, and I'm not coming up with anything much, but in the interest of balance and not to be too effusive about a bike, a couple of things. One, there is inevitably that stigma, isn't there, about Chinese bikes. So if you're worried about that sort of thing, and I get that that's a real thing, then you've got that to deal with. I think that will become less and less as the years go on, to be honest. I don't like that spongy indicator button, I mentioned that. And it's got this weird sort of finish on the tank here. It's plastic surround here, but it's got a sort of a crackle pseudo carbon flake type finish that I don't think I like. But other than that, I mean, the fit and finish seems pretty good. It doesn't feel cheap and nasty in any way, and it isn't cheap and nasty. That's probably the wrong turn of phrase. In terms of the ride, it feels just as good as any other bike, any other new bike that I've jumped on. I would say the throttle is a little bit snatchy at slower speeds, but not terribly so, and it wouldn't be enough to put me off the bike. But yeah, all the basics are here. It goes and stops well, sounds nice, looks good, it's got loads of features. I think overall for me it's a thumbs up just based on this first ride. It's just why we stopped here at these temporary traffic lights. Look at my feet, I'm on the balls of my feet either side. I'm 5'8" with a 32-inch leg, so that shows you the sort of seat height. So don't be put off by the high sounding seat height, it's actually quite manageable. It doesn't feel at all top heavy either. It's got this massive fuel tank on here, so I thought it might be a bit top heavy, but it doesn't feel ponderous at all, which is a good thing. Gearbox on here is nice and positive feeling. Clutch action is quite light. I wouldn't say it's super duper light like a Triumph, but it's not up there with a Harley Davidson. It's just the right sort of stiffness, if you like. I think again the other complaint I had about the previous Voge Road was I had some difficulty finding neutral, whereas I've had no such difficulty on this. The gearbox seems really nice and snippable. No quick shifter, but then of course it's not really the sort of bike for a quick shifter, so I wouldn't miss that. The bike does have riding modes via this button here. There we go, this is sport mode now. Can I feel any difference? Not hugely, to be honest, although I quite like the change display on the TFT there. Quite a bit of buffet off this windscreen actually at higher speed, and the screen's not adjustable unfortunately. Plenty of go on this bike though. sound of this engine. Plenty of power for cheeky overtakes like that as well. Just noticed on Luke's bike there, the indicators look at the progressive type, which I quite like. They do that little pattern thing as you use them. I had to pay extra on my Ducati for that. So yeah, there we have it. My first ride, quick first ride, on the Voge D800X Rally. I think I got that right. If not, I'll put the right thing on the screen. Brand new bike, launched at the ABR Festival. I'm the first person to ride it, along with Luke. It's the first time he's been on one too. Thank you to Voge for letting me ride the bike. Thank you to you for watching this little bonus video. Interested to know, as ever, in the comments below what you make of it. Okay, that's it for now. Look forward to speaking to you again soon. Till then, this has been the Mr. Fly. Cheerio.